Dale Earnhardt died with a secret. Hidden inside his garage was a collection so valuable that it changed everything we thought we knew about NASCAR's greatest legend. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what they found in the Intimidator's garage after his shocking death, and why one discovery made his family millions while another broke their hearts forever. February 18, 2001, the final lap at Daytona. Dale Earnhardt's black number 3 car slammed into the wall at 180 miles per hour. The man they called the Intimidator was gone in an instant, but what happened next shocked everyone who knew him. His family discovered something in his garage that nobody expected, and it's about to blow your mind. But first, let me paint you a picture. Dale Earnhardt wasn't just any race car driver. He was NASCAR royalty. 7-time champion. The guy who made grown men shake when he pulled up behind them on the track. He earned over $76 million during his career. But here's the crazy part, that was just the beginning of his wealth. When Dale died, his wife Teresa inherited everything. And when I say everything, I mean a fortune that most people can't even imagine. But buried inside that fortune was a mystery that took years to solve. A mystery that starts with something Dale called his garage Mahal. Picture this, a building bigger than most people's houses. 6,000 square feet of pure automotive heaven. Chrome walls so shiny you could see your reflection from across the room. Gold drinking fountains. Yes, you heard that right. Gold drinking fountains. Lined up like something from a palace. This wasn't just a garage, this was Dale Earnhardt's shrine to speed. But here's where it gets interesting. Inside this incredible building, Dale kept secrets that revealed who he really was when the cameras weren't rolling. And some of these secrets would change NASCAR history forever. The first thing that caught everyone's attention was the trophy room. All 7 Winston Cup championship trophies stood in perfect formation, each one representing a year of pure domination on the track. But these weren't just trophies sitting on shelves. Dale had turned each display into a story. Next to every trophy was the fire suit he wore that championship year, the helmet that protected his head during those crucial races, and photos from the moments that mattered most. But wait, there's more. Dale had collected every significant race car from his career, not just models or replicas, the actual cars that made history, cars that crossed the finish line first at Daytona, Talladega, and Charlotte, cars that survived crashes that should have been fatal, cars that carried him to victory lane more times than any other driver of his era. Now here's where the story takes a shocking turn. Among all these racing treasures, Dale kept something that surprised everyone who found it. A stuffed deer. Not just any deer, a massive buck that Dale had hunted and killed himself. Next to the deer was the exact shotgun he used to bring it down. This wasn't random decoration. This was Dale showing his true personality. You see, Dale Earnhardt was 2 completely different people. On the track he was the Intimidator. Ruthless, aggressive, willing to do anything to win. But away from racing he was a country boy who loved hunting, fishing, and spending time in nature. The deer and shotgun in his garage proved that the real Dale was much more complex than his racing image. But the biggest shock came when they started going through his business records. Dale wasn't just making money from racing, he was making millions from something most fans never thought about: merchandise sales. His souvenir business was generating more money per year than his race winnings. T-shirts, die-cast cars, hats, jackets, anything with Dale's name or number on it was pure gold. Here's the part that will amaze you. Dale's merchandise sales were so successful that they changed how NASCAR drivers think about business. Before Dale, drivers made money by winning races. Dale proved that drivers could make even more money by building a brand. He was selling products to fans who had never been to a race but loved everything Dale Earnhardt represented. Teresa Earnhardt inherited this business empire, and it made her incredibly wealthy. But it also created problems that continue today. Dale's son, Dale Jr., wanted to use his father's legacy differently than Teresa did. This created a family fight that split the Earnhardt name and caused years of legal battles. But let me tell you about the most mysterious discovery in Dale's garage. There was something missing that nobody could explain. The car from Dale's fatal crash, the black number 3 Chevrolet that hit the wall at Daytona, had completely disappeared. Some people believe the car was secretly stored in Dale's garage, hidden away where nobody could find it. Others think it was destroyed immediately after the accident because it was too painful for the family to see. The most interesting theory is that the car was buried at the bottom of Lake Lloyd at Daytona International Speedway, where it will stay hidden forever. This mystery car represents something important about Dale's death. It wasn't just a racing accident, it was the end of an era. NASCAR was forced to completely change how they protected drivers. The safety improvements that came after Dale's death have saved dozens of lives. His garage contained the history of NASCAR's past, but his death created NASCAR's safer future. Now let me share something that happened just recently that proves Dale's legacy is still growing. In February 2025, exactly 24 years after Dale's death, something incredible happened. A Dale Earnhardt race car from the 1990s that had been lost for decades was discovered and given to Dale Jr. This car had been sitting forgotten in someone's private collection, and nobody knew it existed. This discovery reminded everyone that Dale's influence was so huge that pieces of his story are still being found today. Cars, helmets, suits, and other items keep appearing in unexpected places, each one adding another chapter to the Intimidator's legend. Dale Jr. has continued his father's tradition of collecting racing history. His own garage contains wrecked cars from famous drivers like Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, and Chase Elliott. But Jr.'s collection serves a different purpose than his father's. While Dale Sr. collected to preserve his own legacy, Dale Jr. collects to preserve NASCAR's complete history. The fire suits in Dale's garage told an amazing story about how NASCAR safety evolved over the years. His earliest suits from the 1970s were basic cotton with minimal protection. His later suits were made from advanced materials that could withstand incredible heat. Each suit represented NASCAR's growing understanding of how dangerous the sport really was. Looking at these suits now is heartbreaking because they show how safety technology could have saved Dale's life if it had been developed sooner. The hands device that became mandatory after Dale's death would have prevented the injury that killed him. His garage contained 30 years of safety evolution, but it wasn't enough to save his life. Dale's hunting equipment revealed another side of his personality that most fans never saw. He owned dozens of rifles, shotguns, bows, and hunting accessories. He had mounted deer heads, wild turkey displays, and fish that he caught during quiet moments away from racing. These items showed that Dale used hunting and fishing to escape the pressure of being NASCAR's biggest star. The business side of Dale's garage was equally impressive. He kept detailed records of every endorsement deal, every merchandise contract, and every business partnership. These records showed that Dale was much smarter about money than most people realized. He wasn't just a great driver, he was a brilliant businessman who understood how to turn racing success into lifetime wealth. One of the most touching discoveries was Dale's personal photo collection. Thousands of pictures documented his entire life, from his early days racing on dirt tracks to his final victory at Talladega in 2000. These photos showed moments that fans never saw. Dale with his family, Dale working on cars in his early career, Dale celebrating victories with his team. But the photos also revealed Dale's relationship with his own father, Ralph Earnhardt. Ralph was a racing legend who died when Dale was still building his career. After Ralph's death, Dale locked up his father's garage and never touched anything inside. This decision influenced how Dale thought about preserving his own legacy. Dale's garage contained Ralph's original trophies, cars, and racing equipment, perfectly preserved as a shrine to his father's memory. This showed that Dale understood the importance of racing history long before he became a legend himself. He was protecting his father's legacy while building his own. The chrome and gold decorations in Dale's garage might seem over the top today, but they represented something important about Dale's values. He believed that success should be celebrated and displayed with pride. He worked incredibly hard to achieve his dreams, and he wanted everyone to see what that hard work had accomplished. Dale's garage also contained something that surprised many people: books. Lots of books about racing history, hunting, business, and even some novels. This discovery showed that Dale was much more educated and well-read than his tough guy image suggested. He was constantly learning and trying to improve himself, both as a driver and as a person. The tools in Dale's garage were works of art: custom-made wrenches, specialized racing equipment, and diagnostic computers that were cutting-edge technology in 2001. Dale was known for understanding every mechanical detail of his race cars, and his tool collection proved that he was serious about the technical side of racing. Today, more than 20 years after Dale's death, his garage discoveries continue to influence NASCAR. Modern drivers have learned from Dale's business model, using merchandise sales and endorsement deals to build wealth that extends far beyond their racing careers. Dale proved that smart drivers could become rich drivers, and that lesson changed the sport forever. The safety improvements that resulted from Dale's death are his most important legacy. Every current NASCAR driver owes their life to the changes that were made after the Intimidator was killed.
His garage contained the history of NASCAR's dangerous past, but his death created NASCAR's safer future. As we finish this journey through Dale Earnhardt's legendary garage, remember this important truth: the real treasure wasn't the gold fountains or chrome walls or expensive cars. The real treasure was Dale's understanding that legends are built through hard work, smart decisions, and never giving up on your dreams. His garage was proof that a poor kid from North Carolina could achieve anything with enough determination and courage. Dale Earnhardt's garage wasn't just a building full of racing history, it was a monument to the American dream, and that's why his story will inspire people forever. The Intimidator became immortal not because of what he won, but because of what he stood for, and his garage was the perfect place to preserve that legacy for all time.